Behind Siegfried and Roy's famous tiger shows were workers like Chris Lawrence, putting in long hours to make those illusions seem like magic.
What I loved about the job most was my bond with the cats.
In his 11 years with the show, Lawrence worked his way up from cleaning cages to handling and training its prized Bengal tigers, including Manticore, the nearly 400-pound male who attacked Roy Horn during a performance in 2003.
The point that I realized that things were kind of going sideways was when Roy turned Manticore around and he ended up with his face in Roy's midsection.
Lawrence, who was just a few feet away off stage, says he could see the cat become confused and irritated, knocking Roy to the ground. Lawrence says he tried to pull Manticore back, but the tiger's power threw him off his feet.
I remember vividly thinking, here he comes. There was no telling me he wasn't coming for me.
Instead, Manticore bit Roy in the neck and began dragging him off stage.
At that point, Roy was silent. His eyes were closed. He was just still.
In later interviews, Siegfried and Roy insisted that the tiger meant no harm, claiming that Roy had a stroke before the attack.
Roy tumbled, and Manticore right away he realized, and I realized, he is in trouble.
You believe that Manticore realized you were in trouble and just picked you up and took you off stage for help?
Yeah, that's how bad they put the eye.
USDA investigators did not find evidence to support that. One witness writing, it appeared that his only intention was to kill Roy. As first reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Lawrence says Roy made several mistakes that he believes were critical.
I think his actions in trying to possibly save the routine or rectify the situation actually ended up complicating it.
Lawrence says what he experienced that night left him with severe PTSD, with which he and his family have struggled to cope.
Something in him also died that night.
Lawrence says he's speaking out now to raise awareness about PTSD and how difficult it is to find appropriate treatment.
Very unfortunately, Roy bears the physical wounds from the attack, but Roy's not the only one that suffers from that night.